Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, so this is another entertainment aspect of the channel, and this is the top movies you can watch right now on Disney+. Now, these are my top 15. Let me know in the comment section below your top 15, your top 10, or your top 5. With mine, I did want to make it a little less obvious. So first of all, I didn't go for any of the Disney princess movies or any of the big tentpole movies that Disney has, like Lion King or any of those, Beauty and the Beast, all that kind of stuff. Didn't go for the big mainstream Pixar movies or the Marvel movies or Star Wars movies. I wanted to find the hidden gems of Disney Plus, and one that your kid hasn't made you see plenty of times, like maybe Descendants or one of those. So these are ones that your kids probably haven't seen, you might not have seen in years and years. So let's get started. Tall Tale. This was one that I really watched as a kid, and all of these I've watched for at least a little bit to make sure that they hold up okay. And this was one that I thought really did. It was just like an inspirational one, and it's of superheroes that your kids may have not heard about or heard about here and there. But Pecos Hill, John Henry, and Buffalo Bill, I believe, was the third one. So really just a fun movie. I wish I found a better picture, but it's honestly a really cool one that I think is very inspirational and kind of like, again, I think it really is just like a good feel-good movie that you would enjoy and your kids would definitely enjoy. Cool Runnings. This was an old school one that I definitely liked as a youngster, and it was just fun. There are some more theme jokes I did not get as a kid, and it is funny to watch those back as an adult, but overall, it's just a really cool way of seeing how everything turns out and kind of overall the bigger scope of the world, which again, I think kids are good to know right now when we can't go outside, what all the cool things and amazing things can happen in things in terms of an Olympics and different people from around the world going to compete, and just that cool aspect of it. It was a lot of fun and a lot of great jokes. Some adult jokes, again, that I did not get as a kid. First Kid. This one was, I don't know. I will admit I was a fan of Sinbad back in the day, and this one was just a really fun one. But this one is so good for kids to understand also the whole online aspect, and you never know who you're talking to. And that's why parents need to know who you're talking to online. I really think this is such a good one if you are afraid of your kids ever talking to someone online or meeting someone online or anything like that, and why it can be very dangerous while still just, again, being such a big part of it. Now, I will say that's a little bit of a spoiler, but honestly, this is a movie that kids should watch for that reason alone, and I think it's a really good one and definitely fun. It's 90s fun, but it's fun. Tom and Huck. If you want your kids to learn about Huckleberry Finn, Tom Sawyer, this is the movie in my opinion. I know there is a actual Tom Sawyer movie on there, but this one really is just the best one. It stars as a kid from Home Improvement, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and it was just a really good movie in the 90s. Again, 90s Disney campy, but I think it tells the story in the most fun way possible that kids, it will stick with them. It takes a lot from the book, but goes off on its own thing as well. So overall, I think it's a very Disney-fied version, but it's kind of like the princesses movies in that aspect where it's a Disney-fied, but you still get the story that's in the book with more change for all the better Disney fluff reasons. This one is really, again, one that I watched as a kid, and just it doesn't hold up as much as I thought it would, but still really enjoyable once it gets going. I think the beginning is very slow in my opinion now, watching back as an adult. I think kids get right into it because it has a lot of songs into it for sure. But this is kind of like before Pirates of the Caribbean. This was the pirate movie for me as a kid. I really loved it, and it's just the best version of Treasure Island that I think, again, you could get attached to as a kid or older. And overall, really good. I love the villain in this. I won't say who, but you can probably guess as an adult who it will be, and it's just really fun overall. This is a good movie, and I think it definitely is 90s cheesy, but the perfect Muppets movie. In my opinion, it is still my favorite Muppets movie out of them. This one was actually very interesting looking at the TV shows, because DuckTales The Movie is actually the DuckTales that I loved as a kid. I never really got into the TV show, to be quite honest. I didn't like very many episodes of the TV show when I was a kid. even less so as an adult, but the movie was just perfect in my opinion. It was so good. It told a story. It was funny. And I still think it holds up to this day. I think it's better than any other DuckTales thing that's ever been done. This DuckTales movie was just spot on in terms of just everything about storytelling, fun. It's again, it's different obviously as an adult looking back at it, but it's something that I think kids would really like and you could definitely tolerate very easily just because it's not the same old thing as it once was. Oliver and Company. Now, this is probably the most popular movie on this list in terms of Disney, but it is such an underrated hit that if you haven't seen it, these songs will totally get stuck in your head. Why Should I Worry? I still always sing here and there, and my daughter sings it too. It's just a really fun one, and I think everyone should take a look at this movie if you haven't, or if you haven't in a long time. It's such a fun movie. It really is, and it's just, again, camaraderie, friends, all that kind of stuff. Why you shouldn't always trust people, and why, you know, you can in some instances. It's just a really good movie all around, and I think, again, it's a movie that parents can tolerate and kids will fall in love with. The Game Plan. This is one that I think gets so underrated as one of the early films of The Rock. Now, Tooth Fairy, okay, that's a whole nother story. Doom, oh my God. But this one I think was actually pretty good. I think it dealt with a lot of life things too, in terms of what a kid goes through in life and what parents have to go through, especially as new parents. I mean, I remember when we adopted at, 17-year-old, it was really a big thing. And this one brought us a lot closer together. I would say it was a really great movie to see with my daughter. And it's something that I think they'll know The Rock from other movies. So I think seeing him different will be interesting and fun. And it's just a good one all around. I think it's a lot of fun. And plus it has a little football. So if you are a dad missing that football stuff, and if you have kids, I think it will be a fun one to check out. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Now, my personal favorite in the trilogy was actually number 2. But you can't watch number 2 without watching number 1. So I will say for this list, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, it's a classic. It definitely has been dated by the animations. It's like Star Wars in that sense that when you watched it was young, you're fine with them. You understand why the effects are the way they are. But Rick Moranis, so good to see him again. Like watching a part of it, it was really like, wow, he was so good. Can't wait for it to come back. Overall, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is a classic for sure. I like number 2 better. I would say 3 kind of fell off again, but watch number 1, 2, and 3. I think it's a good time, especially if you want to kill time here and there. That's 3 nights worth. You can watch Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Honey, I Blew Up the Kids, Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves, each one night, and make a good week out of it. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Now, this almost got into the top 5. I think the reason it didn't was it's not the best family film, but really overall good. I think it was PG or PG-13, I want to say. It has some suggestive stuff here and there, so just know that like I was like, whoa, they were talking about this in a Roger Rabbit movie, but it's still the jokes and things that I think will go over kids' heads, but totally adults will understand all of the context. Overall, I will say that yes, it is the famous movie that Bugs Bunny and Mickey were in together, and it really is just that awesome in terms of everything. Everything that was brought together was really awesome when it came to it, and it was a little bit scary, I would say too. So I wouldn't recommend probably a kid younger than 7 or 8 to watch this, because I will say the villain can be a bit scary. But other than that, I think your kids will have a great time, especially if they're, again, around the 9, 10 age and up. Definitely a great movie to watch with them, and definitely a fun one that they'll probably appreciate. And it's funny because you get to see Los Angeles with no cars. So yeah, very interesting. 10 Things I Hate About You. This made it into the top 5 for multiple reasons. One, it kind of is a great teen movie. It's just awesome. It's, you get to see the Joker like you've never seen him before. Heath Ledger, still I believe the best one. And overall, it has so many classic characters here in this movie that grew up to be other stars in other movies your kids have probably seen. So overall, 10 Things I Hate About You is just such an awesome one. It's a Shakespeare tale too. So like you can tell your kids this is a Shakespeare movie. And they're like, what? Like, I don't like Shakespeare. I read, Romeo and Juliet. That's all I knew. Taming of the Shrew. This is what this is. And it's such a fun representation of it. It's really a great movie. I think a lot of teens will love it more than anything else. But I think it's a coming of age movie that a lot of people will like. And again, adults will tolerate, and adults will get jokes that might go over the kid's head. Dr. Dolittle. Now, this is the probably most popular non-Disney movie on this list. This one really was just an awesome movie. I think it's way better than the new one that came out, but one that I had really forgotten a lot of. I think I just kind of blended Nutty Professor and Dr. Dolittle together, so I had forgotten a lot about Dr. Dolittle, and it held up better than expected, I will say. Plus, obviously, you can right now watch Dr. Dolittle 1 and 2. I'm sure 3 and the rest will come along. I didn't even know they made a 3 and 4, but apparently they did. And then, you can compare it to the new Dr. Dolittle when it comes out on Disney Plus, which I'm assuming will be by the summer for sure. So yeah, it's a really fun one of the funniest ones that definitely held up surprisingly. And again, great one for your kids, great one for you. And part 1 and 2, I think, were pretty solid. The Three Musketeers. This one I actually watched all the way through recently, and it definitely holds up. It's just a fun movie. The comedy in it was so well written. Now, it does deal with a bit more adult themes in certain areas. Nothing is shown, nothing like that or whatever. Like they talk about how to pick up a girl or things like that. So like that's the most adult things you're kind of getting into. But overall, I mean, it's just a fun movie. It's the best rendition of Three Musketeers, I still believe to this day, quite frankly. And it's just done so well. You get the Three Musketeers, and then you get D'Artagnan joining. You get the whole story. I think it's just done so well. Great villains. Overall, awesome. And you get to see Charlie Sheen as a religious person. It's very interesting. Overall, it's an awesome in everything, and kids will love Pathos as a character. He's a funny one. So great movie to watch. I think it held up so well. I watched it all the way through again. This is a great movie. Again, it deals with some themes like kissing girls and, guy getting married and all this kind of stuff. So, whatever themes you want your kids to watch, but overall, I think it's a really fun movie and one that definitely holds up. Robin Hood. Now, again, in my opinion, this ties Robin Hood Men in Tights as the best Robin Hood movie. These are the de facto Robin Hood movies. All the other ones are Kevin Costner, whatever. All of them are garbage. This one and the Robin Hood Men in Tights are the definitive Robin Hood movies, just doing so well. And this one is the one that tells the main story the best. It's just so awesome. I really, really love it. Disney's Robin Hood is just so good, so underrated, and I don't think as many people have seen it. This is a great one to watch with kids. It literally has, again, some of that, what we talked in Tailspin, some characters that you've seen in other Disney movies, you're pretty much seeing here. Kaa from the Jungle Book is basically in here. The bear is very similar to Baloo, not exactly, but again, very similar. So yeah, really good overall movie. Awesome songs too, and just like folk stuff, but really great movie. Definitely want to see with your kids. If you haven't seen it, you will enjoy it too. The number one movie, and in my opinion, and yes, I'm going to say this quite seriously, the best Disney movie of all time. If you are a 90s kid, you saw this movie. If you're a late 80s kid like me, you saw this movie. It really is just the most awesome movie. The best songs in any Disney movie. Fight me. I promise you, these will get stuck in your head so much. And there is such a following for this movie, but it really is underground kind of following. Like, if you talk to mainstream people like that watch movies here and there, they've never seen this movie. But this is a movie that I would recommend for anyone to see. It's so good. I will say it does kind of slow down in the middle. I will admit that for sure. As an adult seeing it now, the middle gets kind of boring here and there. But man, that beginning and that ending, perfection. Just like perfect beginning, perfect ending. And I think that's why you leave the movie so satisfied, because the beginning and the ending are so good that if the middle's messed up a little bit, it's fine. But overall, just an awesome one. I definitely recommend checking out. Again, my favorite Disney movie of all time. A lot of people say Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin. If I had to choose mainstream, I would definitely choose one of those three. But my de facto one that I can watch anytime, sing along with, everything is so perfect with, a Goofy movie. Let me know your guys' top list. Were any of these on it? Have you not seen any of these? Let me know in the comments section down below. Thank you as always for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe up there. Make sure you follow us on social media right here. And of course, check out our latest video up there. And right down here, you're going to find the perfect video for you. Or at least that's what YouTube tells me.